Hi, today we're going to learn how to use VPN to stay secure and private online. Wow, this is a tough job. Just kidding. When you use NordVPN, all it takes is just a single click. See for yourself. Click, and you're browsing securely on public Wi-Fi. Click, your ISP can't see what you do online. Click, and you're in a different country. Well, virtually. Any device you have there, NordVPN has you covered. Everything else is just details. But if you care to know more, NordVPN has more than 5,000 servers all over the world. It protects your sensitive data with advanced encryption, shields you from malware and phishing sites, and keeps no logs of your online activity.
Click link in the description and get 68% discount for your first order. Preparing the bathroom for painting. Remove the top of your toilet and cover it with a garbage bag. Now that you have your roller, lift the top of the toilet tank off the toilet and put it outside of the room. Then cover the top of the toilet tank with the garbage bag. To be extra secure, tape the bag to the bottom of the tank to ensure it doesn't move when you are painting. This process is to protect the toilet porcelain from any accidental paint that may touch it. Once the paint is dry at the end, remove the garbage bag and put the toilet top back on. Open several windows for ventilation. Never paint in a room that doesn't have fresh air flowing. Paint can give off toxic fumes, especially in a contained room. Inhaling toxic fumes can lead to double vision or even losing consciousness if there is no fresh air. If there are no windows in the room you're painting, open several windows around your house and open the door to the bathroom instead. Lay a protective sheet of plastic over the floor. When you're painting a wall, there's a high chance that some of the paint may drip onto the floor. To prevent any staining of your floor, lay a large sheet of plastic across the floor and behind the toilet to prevent any accidental spillage. Protective plastic sheets can be bought at most hardware stores, usually near their paint section. Wear old clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. When painting, there's a strong chance that you'll end up getting a little paint on yourself too. Before beginning to paint, wear already dirty or old clothes that you don't mind being permanently marked. After you're finished painting, don't throw away the dirted clothes. Keep them safe so that when you need to paint again, you can use them again. Keep the room cool to avoid damaging paint. A paint's thickness and viscosity can change at higher heats, so avoid storing paint near a source of heat. When you're painting the room, try and keep the room cool too to avoid any damaging of the paint. A cooler room will also allow coatings of paint on the wall to dry quicker. Using a mini roller. Purchase a mini roller. A mini roller is a small rolling brush that is specifically designed for awkward places. Aim for a roller that's 3/4 inch 1.9 cm wide to fit behind most toilets. Find the smallest brush possible. The smaller the brush, the more likely you'll be able to get behind the toilet. Dip the mini roller in the paint. Fill a rolling tray with your pre-selected paint, then dip your mini roller into the paint. Make sure that the roller isn't dripping with paint. To ensure the least amount of spillage, the mini roller works best when working with small coats. If the mini roller is dripping from paint, you have used too much paint. Slide the mini roller behind the toilet at the most convenient angle. Ideally, try and slide the mini roller behind the tank of the toilet from the top and work downwards. However, depending on how your toilet is attached to the wall, this might not always be possible. If it's easier, try and work from the side instead. The long handle of the mini roller will facilitate most angles to get behind the toilet. Begin painting with careful back and forth strokes. With your lightly coated mini roller, begin to paint the wall behind the toilet, brushing back and forth. Be methodical if possible, starting from the bottom up and working your way down. You'll likely need to put more paint on the roller as you go. Make sure to only do light coatings on the roller. If the roller is dripping from paint, it's too much. The thickness of the coating depends on the paint. However, a general rule is that a coating is complete once the layer underneath is obscured. Wait for 6 minutes, 8 hours before applying another coat. Due to the first coating being light, you'll need to apply another coat to have a complete color on the wall. Wait for at least 6 minutes 8 hours for the paint to be completely dry, then repeat the painting process once more. You can check if a wall is dry by very lightly touching the edge of the paint with your finger. If the paint comes off with your finger, it isn't dry yet. Remove the garbage bag and put the lid back on. After waiting for another hour to make sure the last coat of paint is dry, remove the garbage bag from the toilet. Then, put the toilet lid back on. Trying a paint swipe. Make a paint swipe with a cloth, cardboard, tape, and a coat hanger. Attach a small cloth to a 3 inches 7.6 cm square piece of cardboard with the tape. Make sure it is securely fastened to the top. Then, tape the entire paint swipe to the hook of a clothing hanger. Dip the paint swipe in a light coating of paint. The cloth end of the paint swipe is going to be your brush. Like the mini roller, you can't afford to apply a hefty amount of paint onto a paint swipe. Make sure it's a light coating before beginning to paint. If the cloth is dripping with paint, you have used too much. Drop the paint swipe behind the toilet. Gripping the paint swipe by the coat hanger, lower the cloth beneath the toilet from the top and look down. The paint swipe is designed to be used from the top downwards. If you can only access the wall behind the toilet from the side, a paint swipe is not ideal as it relies on gravity to function. Begin painting using side-to-side strokes to apply a thorough coating. Swiping from side to side, use the cloth to paint behind the toilet. Start from the very top and work your way down so you can get an idea of the length of the paint swipe. The clothes hanger is your method of controlling the swipe, so grip it on both sides to give you maximum control. You'll likely need to dip the paint swipe in paint again during the first coating. When doing so, remember not to dip in too much paint. If it's dripping, you've layered it in too much paint. Wait 6 minutes 8 hours before reapplying another coating. Make sure you wait a full hour so that the previous coating of paint is completely dry. You can tell if the paint is dry by gently dabbing your finger on the coating. If any paint comes off with your finger, it's not dry yet. Then paint another layer on top to make sure the wall beneath is completely painted. Remove all the plastic and reassemble the toilet. Throw the plastic over the ground into the trash along with the garbage bag covering the tank. Then, carefully lift the lid onto the toilet once more.